I promised that I will be in Bahrain on the 24th of May, Friday. The location has been fixed. It's Hotel Rami Grand, opposite to Seif Mall. Those desirous of meeting me in Bahrain can contact my team at the WhatsApp number given below or drop an email at the email address given below. See you in Bahrain on the 24th of May.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Today I want to talk about Swiggy. I've spoken about Zomato in great length and the evaluation of Zomato and Blinkit in a previous video. So I thought I'll follow this up with a video on Swiggy because Swiggy has filed initial papers for approval, getting itself ready for an IPO. So I thought a couple of things Swiggy needs to tell us investors before we can consider it. First of all, straight off the bat, I'm not going to apply for the IPO, nor is Anand applying for this IPO. So let me get that very clear. There is no confusion here. This is purely an intellectual conversation. You should assess your own needs and your requirements before you decide to venture into this IPO. This is just a discussion of intellectual conversation. What IPOs are and Swiggy's IPO specifically and problems I see in the IPO is what this discussion is about. I'm not recommending it, nor am I applying for it, nor am I saying don't do it. What you should do is, if you are interested, sit down with your advisor and get some clarification on your risk and your assessments and then decide to apply or not. Anyway, that being said, so is it a smart move that Swiggy plans to go IPO? Well, I don't blame them. There are people who invested in Swiggy a long time ago and they want to exit and they need an exit strategy, and this is what it looks like. Out of the 10,400 crores, approximately $1.2 billion, it's going to raise through the IPO, a significant portion from fresh issue and offer for sale. So it's indicating investors' intent to cash out. That means people who have been in Swiggy for some time want to get out of Swiggy. That itself doesn't sound great as a retail investor. If I'm looking at it, in the IPO stage itself, they want to bail out. They don't even want to wait for the IPO to launch and it to get listed. Then they exit. I understand, but they don't even want to wait. They want first chance to jump off the ship. These investors want to jump off. That itself sounds a little questionable to me. Why? Why is that? But despite all this, the biggest problem for Swiggy I see is its growth and its competition in the market, especially from Zomato. Over the years, it's been losing considerable market share to Zomato. And Zomato's lead over Swiggy is attributed to strong execution, wider penetration, and better engagement with the industry members and restaurant executives. Meaning Zomato has better relationships with restaurants, Zomato has better relationships with people who work with, and overall Zomato seems to be doing a much better job of everything compared to Swiggy. But Swiggy's management, of course, remains confident that its profitability and growth prospects, projecting a top line of around 6,000 crores in food delivery business alone by FY24. Goldman Sachs has stepped in and said it expects a 32% adjustment revenue to CAGR for Zomato for the same period. So, to realize, Warren Buffett famously said, analysts are not worth anything, and their viewpoint really doesn't matter much because the nature of the analyst industry itself doesn't help investors. It's not allied to investors. So keep that in mind when someone like Goldman Sachs says these kind of information. That's why even in the previous video, Goldman Sachs talked about Blinkit and said Blinkit's evaluation is 22 times what Zomato paid for it. It's all on paper. Yes, the share price is zooming, but what Blinkit is actually going to deliver, we'll have to wait and watch and see. This is also true for Zomato and true for Swiggy. So Swiggy's food delivery business path is yet profitable despite showing losses in EBITDA, with projections increasing future profitability. These things are not very confident things to invest on as an investor. Future profitability is a very questionable thing. So its evaluation has seen some serious fluctuations, Swiggy's, and the recent mark by investors indicating an upward trend, potentially reaching $12.1 billion as of December 23. Its evaluation is expected to be discounted relative to Zomato, and the public echo this kind of sentiment when the IPO comes. And it is going to be facing a lot of scrutiny on terms of performance and profitability and competition, especially against Zomato. And when I'm talking about Zomato's competition, you can see some of the graphs which Rupesh should have put up by now. You can see the gross order value. Swiggy is at 46, Zomato gross order value is at 54%, while monthly active users Swiggy is at 40% and Zomato is at 60%. Now let's talk about downloads and monthly active users, because it's completely based off their app. The app is the backbone for both of these companies. And downloads, you can see Zomato is in green, Swiggy is in yellow, 2022, 2023, and first quarter of 2024. In every single year and quarter, Zomato is outdoing Swiggy in downloads in millions. Then let's talk about active users. Active users also, Swiggy though showing growth in it, Zomato is keeping pace with that growth and outstripping Swiggy. Now, let's talk about the quick commerce market, that is the Blinkit market, the Zepto market. March 2022, Zomato was the king. It had 52% market share and it was dominating, while Zepto only was at 15 and Blinkit was at 32. Then after the buy over by Zomato has been pumping cash into it and working very hard to penetrate Blinkit in Tier 1 cities and improve its network and logistics and offerings to customers. And you see now Blinkit is at 40% on March 23. Swiggy Instamart has lost significant share to Zomato, which has gone to 40%. And if you see Zepto, it has grown from 15 to considerably well, 24%. And following Jan 24, Zepto has kept up the growth at the 28, and Swiggy is consistently losing market share and it's come down to 32. So from 52, it's come all the way down to 32. So this is how the stiff competition is for Swiggy when it comes to food, when it comes to engagement, when it comes to even quick commerce, which is like Zepto and Blinkit. Swiggy's Instamart, which is incubated within the app. In Blinkit, it's outside Zomato. In Zepto, it is outside. They only do quick commerce. But in Swiggy's case, it is built into their food delivery app, Swiggy Instamart. And this is the problem they've been facing. So what does Swiggy need to do? How should it do it? I do not know. So these are the kind of questions I would think you should take into consideration before you think about this IPO. Is Zomato's business viable? If so, is it dominating the market or is it losing steam in the market? And two, why are its investors looking for an early exit? This is in its filing itself where they're giving up their shares for sale in the IPO launch itself. If this is the case, why? And these are some questions for you to ponder and chew on even before the IPO comes. We do not know the details of the IPO. Don't ask me when is the IPO, how is the IPO. All the details haven't come. This is just on initial filings what Swiggy has done. Based on that, I thought it would be interesting to bring this up for discussion so we can get some kind of food for thought in this. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.